They said don't film down here. They said the camera makes them remember they used to be people. The lens wakes up shaking. A flashlight beam skitters across dripping concrete, old Caltrans orange, peeling away in long scabs. This is the throat of the 7th Street Bridge, where the Los Angeles River forgets it's supposed to be a river. The water is the color of old nickels and it licks at my ankles like it's tasting me. I can feel it deciding. They're sitting in perfect circles, 50, maybe 60 bodies, all facing inward. Blankets stitched together from cardboard and despair. Plastic bags for pillows. No tents, because tents need permits and permits need names, and none of them have names anymore. The city erased them one by one. Overdoses logged as Jane Doe. Psych wards that opened the doors at 4 a.m. and pointed to the street. Foster kids who turned 18 and became smoke. Immigration sweeps that swallowed whole families and spat out shadows. Paperless ghosts arranged like a target under concrete. I'm Kaylee. I still have a name because I still have 4 days left. That's what the man at the entrance told me when he let me crawl through the rusted service gate. 4 days until the bridge takes it. He said it the way other people say rent is due. The circles don't move when the light hits them. They just breathe, slow and wet, like lungs full of river mud. Their eyes are open, but nothing lives behind them. Just black water reflecting my flashlight back at me, broken into 50 pieces. I take one step closer, and the breathing syncs up. All of them at once, one big animal wearing human skins. The sound fills the cavern until I can't hear my own heartbeat anymore. In the center of the circles is a hole, not a manhole. Someone chewed it through the concrete with teeth and patience. The edges are worn smooth, wet, pinkish where the rebar shows through like ribs. Something inside it moves. I shouldn't zoom, but my hand does it anyway. The camera focuses on a face rising out of the dark. It used to belong to a man. Now the skin hangs in wet sheets, peeled back from the cheeks, so the teeth look too big for the skull. No eyes, just raw red sockets full of silt and tiny blind fish that dart when the light hits them. He smiles with every tooth he has left. "Welcome home, Kaylee," he says, and my name sounds obscene in his mouth, like he's rolling it around on a tongue that isn't his. Behind him the others start rocking, forward, back, perfect rhythm, like they're praying to whatever chewed that hole. I try to step away, but my shoes are stuck, not in mud, the water's only ankle deep. Something has my laces. Cold fingers curled around the rubber soles, pulling down with gentle insistence. I look, and there's nothing there. Just my reflection in the black water, but the reflection isn't moving when I move. It's smiling the same smile as the man in the hole. The breathing gets faster. They're all saying it now, soft, under the breath, over and over. 4 days. 4 days, 4 days. My backpack gets heavier. I only brought this phone and half a tuna sand, which wrapped in foil, but now it feels like someone climbed inside it and died. The straps cut into my shoulders. The man in the hole crawls out. His knees don't bend the right way. Skin sloughs off in long ribbons that float on the water like jellyfish stingers. He leaves pieces of himself behind with every movement, pale scraps that dissolve too slow. He reaches for me with hands that end in too many fingers. Some of them are mine. I recognize the freckle on the left thumb. I lost that thumb years ago in a car crash. They kept it, apparently. I finally scream. The sound ricochets off the underside of the bridge and comes back deeper, older, like the bridge has been practicing my voice for centuries and finally got it right. The circles lean forward all at once, 50 heads tilting the exact same degree, 50 mouths opening wide enough that I can see down their throats and there's no end to them. Just darkness that smells like river and pennies and birthday cake left out in the rain. They still have tongues, that's the worst part, pink and wet and moving, writing something on the air I can almost read. The man is close enough now I can smell every place he's been. Storm drains in Fresno, the holding tank at Twin Towers, the drainage ditch behind the Walmart in Barstow, where he waited 3 days for a sister who never came. He smells like all the places that forget people. He puts his face right up to the lens. The camera tries to focus, but his skin keeps sliding. So the picture blurs and sharpens like a heartbeat. "Turn it off," he whispers. "The light hurts the ones who still remember." I try to drop the phone, but my fingers won't open. They're longer now, the nails black and soft, waterlogged. When I flex them, river water drips out from under them like I've been buried too long. Behind him, the others are standing, joints popping like wet wood snapping in a fire. They don't use their legs. The water rises up around their waists and pushes them forward, gentle, the way a mother lifts a child into a bathtub. It's up to my knees now, cold, thick. It has weight and memory. The man strokes the lens with one wet finger, leaves a streak of red across the glass that spells my name in a handwriting I don't recognize. 3 days now, he says, and the circles echo it. 3 days, 3 days, 3 days, softer each time, like they're teaching the river a new song. I feel my name peeling off me the way his skin peels off him. It comes away in strips that float on the water, and the others lean down and sip them up like noodles. The camera battery drops to 1%. The screen flickers red. They're close enough now that I can see what's inside their mouths. Not teeth exactly, more like the memory of teeth. Sharp edges made of things they swallowed and couldn't digest. Driver's licenses, social security cards, birth certificates folded into tiny squares and forced down throats until the paper cut them from the inside. One of them still has a hospital bracelet fused to the wrist. The plastic has melted into the skin and the name is legible. Michael Truong, Dob 03/14/1997. He tilts his head and the bracelet clicks against the concrete like a wind chime made of regret. I try to say I'm sorry, but the words come out wrong. They come out as water. The man who used to have eyes presses his forehead to mine. It's cold and soft like meat left out too long. He opens his mouth, and I see my own face inside it, small and screaming, sliding down his throat on a river of someone else's blood. The water is at my waist now. It's warm suddenly, body temperature, like it's been waiting to match me. They start to sing, not with voices, with the sound of shopping carts dragged across asphalt, with the sound of tents being zipped up by cops at 5 a.m., with the sound of a social worker saying, "There's nothing more we can do." It's the most beautiful, horrible sound I've ever heard. My legs go numb, not from cold, from belonging. I feel the phone slip from my fingers, but it doesn't fall. It floats. The camera stays level somehow, recording from the surface of the water like a periscope for the drowned. The last thing it sees clearly is my own face filling the frame, but it isn't mine anymore. The eyes are gone. Just wet red holes full of river silt and those tiny blind fish. My mouth is open too wide. Something long and pale is crawling out of it, leaving a trail of my name behind like slime. I'm smiling with every tooth I have left and some I never had. Then the screen goes black, but the audio keeps going. 6 more seconds of breathing, slow, wet, patient, and one soft voice, not mine, coming from my throat. "Turn it off. The light hurts the ones who still remember." Then the sound of something heavy sliding into water. Then nothing. They found the phone 3 days later, when the rains finally stopped. It was wedged between 2 shopping carts, still recording somehow. Battery icon stuck at 1% like it was afraid to die. File was 42 minutes long. They titled it "Dontwatch" MP4 because that's what someone scratched into the back of the case with a fingernail. By the time the city sent workers down to clear the encampment, the circles were empty. Just wet cardboard and plastic bags arranged like shed skins. The hole in the center had grown, big enough for a body now. The edges were fresh and raw, still bleeding concrete dust into the water. They never found Kaylee. They never found any of them. But sometimes, late at night, if you drive across the 7th Street Bridge and roll your window down, you can hear breathing under the road. Slow, wet waiting. And if you're very quiet, you might hear a girl's voice, small and far away, saying the same thing over and over, like she's still holding the phone even though her hands dissolved years ago. Turn it off, she whispers to the dark. The light hurts the ones who still remember. The river keeps her voice polished and new. It has all the time in the world, and it's always looking for new names to chew.